Good morning.
Morning.
Happy Monday.
Morning. I have a fly. I have a fly in my house. Must be spring.
Yep. That's a good tell.
Yeah.
The bugs are coming out.
Yay. Just what I need. More bugs.
Right.
Trying to get in the chat here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Grandma Magic Classics and Frankie's Finds. Comfortable Life. Do I sound okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Sound wonderful.
Wonderful, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Your music to my ears, Valerie.
2 more years for what?
Huh?
Is this an inside joke?
No, I said your music to my ears.
Oh, I thought you said 2 more years.
Can you guys hear me okay?
I guess. It's just me. I'm deaf.
How'd your yard sale go, Sally?
Not good. Not
Oh.
good this weekend. So we're going to wait until Memorial Day weekend.
Must still be too cold or something, huh?
Yeah. Wasn't a whole lot of people out.
Well,
yeah, guys went. I think not.
Grandma Magic Classic. Look at her. She's got 142.
Wow. Way to go. I got
awesome.
I got a total of 9.
That's awesome. That's great.
Valerie, I have 67.
Woo!
I pulled out like 26 listings last night, between last night and this morning.
Wow.
I thought, well, I got to at least bring one of my eBay stores out of retirement. Actually, is it only eBay? Because I did list some stuff on, I list 3 things on Bonanza and 3 things on Etsy.
As far as I know.
eBay? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we allow that, then we have to allow Scott Zilke's crap.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you're right. We don't want to allow Scott Zilke to put it in his Amazon number.
Sorry, Scott. Sorry, Bear the Picker, but you're not going to win this one, I don't think.
Nope.
He said you're damn right. Good morning, Robin. You're pretty cool yourself. You had your yard sale this weekend too, Grandma Magic Classics. I hope you did better than me. I had this little sofa. It's a rocker. It's really pretty. It's a rocker and it has a recliner also, and it's like 2 seats, just a little sofa, like love seat. And it kind of looks like those carpet bags. It kind of looks like that kind of material. And it's really pretty. It's got flowers all over it. And I had it out for the yard sale. There was one person down the road that said she'd pay $100 for it. And I'm like, okay. So she said that she would be back and maybe she can get a deal or whatever. She never came back. So last night I decided I'm taking my little love seat and I'm going to throw it away and I'm going to bring that one in the house.
There you go.
Because it's so comfortable and like we don't spend a lot of time in the living room because I have my office in my living room. So I wanted something pretty in my living room.
There you go.
You know, and it fits. I could put the recliners up, you know, I could rock it. It's good.
Yep. That's good.
And I feel like I'd get my use out of it. So I was happy to have it. And I didn't even have to throw my old couch away because Joe put it in his room. So, because he wanted a couch in there. So,
My daughter needed a couch, my youngest daughter. Well, my oldest daughter, they had a porch couch. And they were throwing it out for spring cleanup. Well, my other daughter asked everybody if anybody knew of a couch that she could get. And my daughter says, well, our porch couch is out, ready for pickup for spring cleanup, but if you want it, you can have it. So anyways, my youngest daughter went over and looked at it, and she's like, yeah, we like it. So she went and got it, and her and her friends, my daughter's roommate sent us Snapchats of these goofballs, because she only lives about 2 blocks away from my other daughter.
right.
So it wasn't far, but anyways, my daughter drives a Ford Focus, a little Ford Focus. They put this couch up on the roof and tied it down and hauled it. And it just looks so funny because it's a huge couch, overstuffed couch, you know. It was funny. It was just funny watching them and my oldest daughter's roommate.
We see that a lot with canoes.
Yeah.
Little cars with a huge long canoe, and it's like, oh my god, you're fine if you land in the water. If you turn over and land in the water, you'll be fine. But otherwise, I don't know about you guys.
But the problem was they put it on there sideways. Long ways from driver's side to passenger side instead of lengthwise of the car. You know, it's like, you guys are, didn't I ever teach you anything?
Oh my god.
But they made it. They only had, a couple blocks to go, but they made it.
Wow. Just so you guys know, I gotta leave at 10:30. I have a doctor's appointment.
Yay. That's good.
Okay.
No, not yay. I don't want to go. I'd rather be here with you.
Well, I'm not gonna be here. I won't be here either, so.
Oh, where are you going?
They're gonna let me out today.
To go where?
They're letting the crazies out today.
I guess so.
Must have been taking your meds, huh?
Yeah, I've been good. I'm on work furlough. No, I'm kidding. Work furlough. Let's see. No, I am going to lunch with Rose.
Fun.
So that's where I'm going.
Did you get a little step stool to get her in the truck?
What's that?
Did you get a little step stool to get her in the truck?
No, actually, I'm just gonna meet her there.
Oh,
so good. I don't think she'll probably do that again.
Blackberry Thistle Tea says, I moved a whole house of furniture once with just a car. Took 17 trips.
Oh my god. Wow.
I've never done that.
I did it.
Very interesting.
I did it in a minivan. I had a Plymouth Voyager. And I moved, and I was so excited about moving into this house. I didn't want to wait for my husband. And so I moved the whole entire house in my minivan, except for there was like one big buffet that I couldn't move myself. But otherwise, I moved the whole thing myself. I lifted everything, tied it on top of the van and everything. My husband was like, how in the hell did he was at work one day and I just moved the whole entire house.
That's funny.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I might also go to the thrift store.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I am going right by it.
We know that whenever you go out, that you make a trip of it.
Hey, don't want to waste no gas.
That's all right. I went last night. Oh, and my thrift store got one of those funky boxes.
Funky boxes.
Yeah, the donate boxes.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. But you know what? People don't know how to use it, so they're still putting their stuff on the ground. And it says, this is for small items. Do not put large items or furniture. They just put it on the ground.
Wow.
I think that's still illegal to take stuff from there, though, isn't it?
Oh, I don't take stuff from, I take stuff from the dumpster.
Oh.
But it's not, I wouldn't say it would be illegal, though, because it says do not leave. Do not leave stuff outside of, so they're not supposed to put it there. So.
Right.
And when I go donate stuff to the Goodwill and people have left stuff there, I'm just like, well, geez, can't I just trade,
I don't see a problem with that. I mean, if they're leaving it and, if they're leaving it and then, they're saying, they're telling you not to leave it, then why not, But you know what I found in the trash last night?
What did you find?
A Nintendo duck hunt gun, a zapper.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I should get about 25 for it.
Nice.
Fine.
CB radio microphones and what else did I find? I gotta think. I found a I can't think. Okay, never mind. I can't think of what I found. I found something else good, but I can't think of it.
It's okay. You'll think of it.
I found a bunch of diapers, but that wasn't from there. It was from somebody that was moving their stuff out in the front. Because trash days today,
So diapers, like dirty diapers or diapers?
No. Diapers new in the package. Diapers new in the package. Yep.
Wow.
Found 4 packages. Yep. It's crazy that people would not donate that, because we have a pregnancy center,
Right.
And it's just crazy that people wouldn't donate that instead of just, tossing it in the trash.
They don't have the time.
To each their own.
Yep.
People don't have time these days to do stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if, they called or whatever, they would come and pick it up or whatever, But
people don't want to be inconvenienced.
These people moved, so they just left all their stuff in the front, and that was part of it.
Fishing and Picking says, I met all my wives in traffic jams. There's just something women like about a pickup man. That's right. That's right.
I found on garbage cleanup or spring cleanup. I found this one house that had a bunch of adult diapers still in the package, still in the cases. I mean, there was like 4 cases of them. But I didn't take them because I've got a crap load of adult diapers brand new in the package, same brand, and they haven't sold at all. So, and I've had them for like almost a year. So,
good prices or no?
Yeah, I've lowered them down to good pricing. I put them on Facebook and everything, but I never sold them, so I just left them. I didn't take them. I was like, you know what? If they're worth anything, oh well, I'm just not gonna.
Yeah. Well, these are for babies.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll go better than that.
It was funny because this one time I had some stuff listed on Facebook, rummage sale, and this guy called one time looking for somebody else on my phone. And he was a real friendly guy, and I struck up a conversation with him. And when he found out that I wasn't he started asking me some questions about just what was I doing and blah, blah, blah. and then he found out that I wasn't who he thought I was.
Mhm.
Well, anyways, a few weeks later, and the guy sounds like my cousin, this one cousin of mine, who always calls me, and he'll call me, and he won't say like, "Hey, Nikki, how you doing?" He'll just start talking. "Hey, how's it going?" Blah blah blah. You know, what are you doing?
Right.
Anyways, so the guy sounded like my cousin, and that's who I thought it originally was. And so I started answering him, and that's why we struck up a conversation. And then we found out that we weren't who each other thought we were.
Right.
Anyways, so a couple weeks later, I get this call from a guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm calling about the diapers you have," and I had forgot that I had listed them on Facebook. And he goes, or he says, "Are you selling some diapers?" And I'm like, "No." And I started giggling, and because I thought it was my cousin,
Oh,
and or this guy, you know. And he started talking, and he's like, "Well, I thought you were selling diapers or something." And because my cousin always talks about my eBay and stuff, you know. Anyways,
Mhm.
I ended up giggling and whatever, and the guy goes, "Come on, this is embarrassing." And I was like, "Oh my God." And he goes, "Forget it." And he hung up. And I was like, "Oh my God." Here I thought it was somebody else. And I started giggling, thinking it was my cousin or that other guy making fun of me, you know, about selling diapers, you know. And it was just, I don't know. It ended up, so he was like, "I'm calling for my mom. This is already embarrassing enough." And he's click.
Oh my
Like,
God.
oops. So I could have probably sold him once, but
You missed your shot, huh?
I did. It's like, well, why can't you just call up and say, "Hey, I'm calling about the diapers that you have listed on Facebook"?
yeah.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, it ended up being a miscommunication.
Mhm.
And
Okay, guys. Sorry to interrupt. We need to get some numbers here.
What
Need
are
to
we
get
at
some
so far?
So far, I've only gotten 7 girls and 4 boys. So, and we had a whole list of people doing
Yeah.
this. So it's time to start rattling the cage. Give me your numbers. Silver Hair Stacker, good morning. Reluctant receivers of returns. Ain't that the truth?
nice over here.
Hey, Todd. Hey, or like this. Hey,
Yeah.
Todd.
That was funny. That one day Tara's like, "I swear he sounds like Bill Clinton. Just have him say, 'I did not have sexual relations with that woman.'"
No. It's really, really close.
He so does, though.
We love you, Todd. You're so funny. You little worster, you.
My mother just loved Bill Clinton. She thought he was so cute.
Fishing and picking. Don't be doing that now. You know the women won.
Are you sure, Fish and Picking? Are you sure that you put up 928 listings?
I think he's lying. I think he doesn't have his glasses on and he meant 28.
Maybe.
He was putting a lot out, though. I mean, I don't know about 900, but he has been putting a lot out. At first, he was. I know he was listing.
Yeah.
Todd, your zucchini or zucchini? What's a zucchini?
Zucchini.
Or do I want to know?
Zucchini. My husband had this friend he used to call zucchini zucchini. I was like, oh my God, he used to drive me just nuts. It's like, stop calling it zucchini.
That's funny. guys are pretty good, but I don't think they rule.
They drool.
Yes, they do. That's why they need the women there to wipe up all their drool.
I gotta go for a minute. Be right back.
Okay. I can't do any shit talking. I only listed 9.
928. I don't have a boat right now, so I can't go fishing. Okay. On the bank? That's boating is not the only place you can fish.
He's a guy. They only fish from the boat.
Oh, okay.
My husband's the same way. I ain't fishing without a boat. We gotta go out in the boat. And see me, I love just driving up alongside the river, taking out my chair, and just sitting there in my lawn chair, fishing, catching walleye. I think it's so much fun. I don't have to worry about the boat. I don't have to worry about loading it and unloading it. I can just pull up, take my lawn chair out, my fishing stuff out, and I'm fishing.
But you're good to go. Yep.
Dog can sit there and run around while I'm fishing. And
oh, let's see, Robin. When did we start the challenge? Jill wants to know. We started it April.
It was a long time ago, I know.
Yeah, it was. April 18th. April 18th. I believe. Yeah, it was April 18th. So, Robin, how many did you get? Let's see, I'm trying to find everybody. There's a few people that I haven't seen on yet. Yeah, April 18th. I got 175.
Nice.
Well, that wasn't too shabby. I was hoping it would be a little bit more, but
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Better than my 9.
Had a really good weekend though. I mean, for me, I had 10 sales, so that wasn't too bad.
Nice. I only have 4 things listed on my one eBay account, so I didn't sell anything this week.
So are you going to start kind of opening that one back up and start listing on that one?
Yeah.
But you're not going to relist your stuff. You're just
Little
going to
by
start.
little. I'm starting fresh.
Yeah. That's
Nothing's going on there without an inventory number.
That's good.
Enough of this silly inventory system.
I think that's great.
Well, see, back in the day when I first started my inventory system, I mean, this was years ago, I started this inventory system. And a lot of stuff I had, at the time, I had listed on index cards. Everything that was in a box, I listed it on an index card with that bin number on it. Well, then I ended up along the years losing those index cards. You know, some index cards would get lost, or I'd drop them or whatever and not find them or whatever, you know. So yeah, some stuff ended up, but now nothing is going on listed on eBay unless it has a bin number right on the computer, so that when I sell it, I can look at it on my phone and that's it. I'll know exactly where it is. Exactly. Except for the big stuff, of course, but and nothing is going to be in a storage shed or anywhere else but home. All my listed inventory is going to be home. Enough of this listed stuff here and there and everywhere, you know.
That's good.
because I had listed stuff in my garage. I had listed inventory in my storage shed. I had listed inventory in my camper. I even had listed inventory on one of my dad's shelves at his house. So, yeah.
Just all over the place.
Yeah. So enough of that.
Yeah. I think that'll make it, easier for you. And
Yeah.
I think with the whole inventory, everybody's got their own way of doing things. And so, whatever works for you.
Well, I like the numbered bins because that way, if like when I was in the hospital, not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before, for 7 days, I could tell my husband, "Hey, this thing is in bin number blah blah blah," and he could go get it, package it, and ship it. You know, so that if anything was to happen to me or whatever, somebody else can take control too if need be.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Or if I got the flu or something, and I could say, "Hey, dear, will you go do this for me?" And he can,
Right.
And that's the biggest thing. And I like the bin inventory, the numbering the bins, because it's such a simple thing. You'd think, as long as you follow it.
Right.
It's a simple process. It's a simple inventory system, not confusing. Anybody could come in here and see the inventory system,
Right.
and do it. So it's just if you're, I'm doing it myself. So I was like, I'll remember what box it's in. Well, yeah, for the first up to like 300 items, sure you remember where stuff is. But once you get up to like, I was up to what 2,000 and something items on both stores. It started getting a little confusing of where stuff was.
Sure. Grandma Magic Classic says she's got her daughter coming over in July to help her with her inventory. It's her Mother's Day gift.
Good.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I know that I need to go through. I need to go through all of my stuff and basically, find out if it's listed. When I was doing it, when I was listing, I was taking pictures, and then I would go back and I would list items as to what pictures I had. I didn't like that system because a lot of those things that I pictured somehow didn't get listed, and so, but they got put in the listed box as if they were listed. So I know that there's a lot of inventory, maybe not a lot. I would say probably 25% of those items, maybe not that high, but I need to go in there and I need to go through everything and make sure that everything is listed and everything. And it's just trying to find time to do that.
Yep.
So,
well, and that's the thing, over the years things had dropped off and stuff like that, so it wasn't listed. I'd be looking through boxes and I'd be like, wait a minute, I haven't seen this listed for a long time,
right.
And so yeah, there's a lot of unlisted inventory, and I mean, yeah, I think this will just be a lot more better control.
Right. And this process with and I know a lot of people don't get it, the whole drafting thing, but to me it just makes it kind of holds me accountable to get those listings are on the computer already, so all I have to do is take pictures of them to finish them up. So it's not like it's that big of a deal to to get them live. So to me it's easier. It's just an easier process.
Well, that's when I was listing only on my Windows phone, when I had a Windows phone, the listing process was slow and tedious. And so I would write things. It was faster to write things in my notebook, snap pictures of them, and then I could list them wherever I was, you know.
Right.
And a lot of times, if I think like when my husband had to go and he was going to be at the hospital all day for a colonoscopy and he had to have his esophagus stretched and everything, and I knew I was going to be at the hospital all day, so I did that with this phone too. One time, I wrote a bunch of stuff in a notebook, took a bunch of pictures, and then I could list while I was sitting at the hospital. But anyways,
Right.
But now with my new phone, that isn't. It's just as fast to just do it because this phone works a lot better. My Samsung Galaxy.
Right.
So now it's just faster for me to just do the listing. You know. Like I said, unless I'm going to be out and about one day, then I'll just hurry up and notebook and take a bunch of pictures. But yeah, it's but before it used to be faster and a lot of people were like, why would you write things in a notebook? How is that faster? And it really was, because you weren't going through different different parts of the listing, filling in stuff. I was just jotting information down really fast.
Right.
And then taking the pictures, and honestly, it was faster that way, more efficient. But now it's just as fast to just list with my phone, the whole listing, right from start from finish. So, but yeah, we all have our own way of doing things and our own way of efficiency. And if it works for one, it doesn't necessarily work for everybody.
Yep. You have to find what works for you, and what. That's the thing is what works for one person may not work for another.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like the whole numbered bin inventory system. I mean, that should work for anybody, you'd think. But like Dusty said, it would never work for him.
Right.
He just likes to have it on the shelf. Now, I used to have stuff just on the shelf, and I would end up overlooking stuff. So I would have to have like a fresh set of eyes come in and say, "Hey, where do you see this, dear? Is it on the shelf?" Because I would end up just overlooking the item, and then I'd be like, "Oh God, where is it?" And then my husband would come in and he'd look and scan real quick, and he'd find it right away. So that system doesn't work for me.
Right.
It's too easy to overlook it.
Well, I do have a little bit of I have totes that have all of my clothing and purses and all that kind of stuff in. But I also have a couple of shelves in the room, and that carries all of my other stuff. So like my housewares, dishes and things like that. I mean, it has everything on there.
Yeah.
Because it was too many totes. I didn't have enough room to keep all the totes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a process. It definitely is. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you? Hope everything's
Need your numbers.
Yep. Give me your numbers. I'll keep collecting them throughout the show.
And now even Scavenger Life, they're saying that they're revamping their inventory once they get their building built. Because theirs, I don't know how they ever got anything, how they ever found anything the way theirs was. Because they would put like things with like things, and I mean, and they were like, she was talking one day, and she was like, well, these are wood things and these are metal things. Like, what do you do if something's metal and wood, and I, I mean, I used to listen to their inventory system. I was like, how in the hell do they keep it straight,
I found a relic purse last night. That's the other thing I was trying to remember. And I needed a new purse because I have a Simply Vera that I've been carrying for like a year, and it's got a hole in the bottom of it. So I figured I needed a new purse anyways.
There you go.
So this is my new purse.
So. Morning, Eric.
Morning.
Did you get a haircut?
Yeah, I did it myself.
Eric or Slick.
Hi, Jace.
Yeah, I always cut. I just use the clippers and cut my hair when it gets too annoyingly long.
Yeah.
It's not
Hi,
that
banana.
when you don't have to spend as much time as up here as you do on the sides anymore.
Yeah.
So.
I do my husband's too with the clippers because you can just set it at a certain length and you can't screw up.
Eric's Flowbee material.
I would have used a Flowbee in the day.
Is the Flowbee that vacuum?
Yep.
So didn't
Yeah.
Pickin really put that many up?
Why would you?
I don't know. That's what he says.
Oh, do you need mine?
Oh Lord.
Do you need mine, Callie?
Now, fishing and picking, that was eBay.
That's
It wasn't Amazon, right?
Yeah, he said it was 3 weeks worth of three and a half weeks or something, wasn't it?
Back in the day when I was listing like crazy, I could see that being done.
It's possible. I mean, it's not hard to do if you have a very consistent process. If you list, I mean, you're talking 3 weeks.
Yeah. Done easy, actually.
50 items a day, you can easily do that. Especially if small things like that, similar items.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Not that
totally
we
think
don't
it's
believe
doable, but just make it sure.
Val,
Not that we don't believe you, though.
Val, do you need my total?
He just likes to play the bullshit card a little too much. That's why we got to ask.
Tries to look a few too many times.
How many did you do finally, Jason? Finally, actually, you did some during a listing challenge?
302.
Nice.
Good job, Jason.
Oh, wait. I forgot another 20. Whoops. 322. I forgot about the belt buckles.
Oh.
Well, way to go.
Yeah.
I had around 70. I don't remember because I lost track, and I know it's around that number.
Round seems to be the theme of the day.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen one of these? They're kind of cute. They're called a dog fighter.
No.
It's like Hot Wheels.
Cool.
I've never seen one before.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I just got to it and listed a whole bunch last night, and I hadn't been listing. Well,
We
I
gotta
can't
get
say
Tara's
that.
numbers.
Yeah.
Tara might be able to save the day.
Oh, you
And it's her birthday. And it's her birthday, so she needs this win today.
Yeah, for her birthday, we should be able to add on 1,000 to her.
I
It's her birthday.
agree.
Trying to get everybody's numbers, but
Did Dusty do much listing this week?
He did it on the boat.
Uh,
I think he's listing from the doghouse today, but
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
Is he out playing with Tristan's uncle?
he was spending time with his landlord last night.
Fun.
Man, I am so freaking tired.
did everybody have good sales over the weekend?
All right. I mean,
Yeah.
not a lot of quantity, but decent prices for everything. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Jason had some good sales over last few days, and more last week than anything. But.
Yeah.
Last week was a good week.
Tracy, we started on the 8th. Okay, Natalie, that's fine. As long as
Yeah, my sales weren't like extremely good, but I think I did probably over the whole weekend because I think I shipped on Saturday. I think I probably did maybe 10, which isn't horrible for me.
That's actually not a bad total.
I've been selling all my candy.
Good.
It's been selling, yeah.
It's good.
Just
Happy birthday, Tara.
Hi, thank you, Nikki.
Happy birthday, Tara.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Sorry,
Oh, you're
Eric. I didn't interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine.
Do you want my numbers, Valerie?
Yeah.
Doing that?
I don't have it yet.
372.
Woohoo!
That's our girl.
Yeah, that ain't gonna help.
We were counting on you.
Tara was slacking, huh?
I was waiting for yours. That's awesome.
Tara's like, I took 2
Holy
weeks
cow.
off.
Well, I didn't really list this weekend, I will say that. I went to an auction on Saturday, and then I did like maybe 5 yesterday. Oh man, Nikki, I went to an auction you would have liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a old shitty abandoned house and barn that had been sitting abandoned, and then they pulled everything out and auctioned it off.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was a good one there, but there was a lot. They only had like one gooseneck trailer full of smalls. They really didn't have like a ton of smalls or box lots lined up on the ground. But it was a good one. Lots of tractors, lots of vehicles.
39.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Flathead.
Had a 1939 Ford there,
Nice.
Nice.
deluxe with a flathead V8.
So what did you walk away
Tractor.
with?
Wow.
I just bought smalls. I have a rule because this property for sale. So of course Jim's all horned up to this 39 Ford, and I'm like, if one comes, it's like Thunderdome. One comes in, one has to go out. I'm not like having this collection, but right now it's for big stuff. It's just not. We're doing this thing with selling this property. It's
How
not
much did the 39 Ford go for?
800.
And it
Oh
was
my
not
God.
bad.
Was it in terrible shape?
No, it was not.
No, it was stored under a shed.
You could have flipped that
It was
for probably
dirty.
3 or 4 grand in a week on eBay.
Yeah.
No title. Had no title on it.
Doesn't matter. There's some states that they don't care about stuff like that. They'll sell all they need.
Yeah.
Breaking. Well, we bought a Civil War musket, so we dumped some money in that.
Yeah, that was my birthday present to me.
Yeah, but those things are a dime a dozen.
Not up here. I can't hardly ever find them.
You don't buy them from up there. You buy them. You're a gun broker and buy them. You don't pay hardly anything for them. I mean,
Well, we paid $350,
Yeah.
and it's in real good shape.
that's about what they should go for anywhere. But I mean, they're pretty much everywhere. So
Yeah. I think they're a lot higher than 3.5 on Gunbroker when I look.
if you I mean, where I used to live at in West Virginia, which is down near Virginia and Pennsylvania, thing. I mean, it's not unusual to see Civil War muskets.
You can still pick those up off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, they're
You can walk in the woods and find them.
There's still some little guys still fighting a war.
Yeah, but there's, I mean, 39 Fords that are in decent shape that you can pick up for under $1,000 is pretty good.
Yeah, so anyway, they had lots of trucks and there was lots of tractors and stuff like that.
Any mid-50s trucks?
It was all right.
That Alice Chalmers truck.
Oh yeah, Nikki.
$300.
There was an Alice Chalmers B there. A B. So that's
Really?
a small one. And it sold
Yeah.
for $300. 300.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cheap. Was it in good shape?
Yeah.
Good rubber and everything?
Oh yeah. Well, the lugs were worn on the rear tires, but they were still holding air. They pulled it out of the
Mhm.
shed. It would need like a fuel system clean out and carb clean out. They didn't try to turn it over or anything, and on the Ford one they had that needed the same thing, they did turn that engine over, so I don't know. I'm not much of an Alex Chalmers person, and I'd have had to go back out with a trailer or rollback to go get it.
We're not big Alice Chalmers either, but we got a couple of them.
Yeah.
And still a tractor for $300. That's, you know,
Yeah,
you
it
can
was a
sell
good
the
deal.
parts off it for more than that.
Yeah, it was a good deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was fun.
Hard to find tractors for $300, even if they're totally
No, I was
shitty.
surprised. Yeah.
How
I
big is
paid
that?
$500 for used grass lawnmowers.
Yeah. So how big is that tractor? Is that like a Ford 8N or something like that?
It'd be a little smaller. It'd be like one you put a belly cultivator on, so it'd be like equivalent to a Farm All A.
Okay.
I'd say. And I think did it have the narrow front on it?
I don't.
I think the Alice Chalmers B has a narrow front, unless that had a conversion on it.
I
I
think
can't
so.
remember. I think it should be narrow, but sometimes they spread them in front.
It was in a sea of people. I don't think I ever got that close.
No.
I went to my auction, my annual auction yesterday, and usually, I mean, there's just so much there. I mean, but yesterday it was horrible. I mean, there
Really?
wasn't. It was terrible. I couldn't believe it. And the thing was, is he said consignments were closed, that he was full, and I mean, he didn't have half the stuff he usually has there.
Yeah. I did
Terrible.
not get a lot of smalls really at this auction. I bid a lot of stuff up and it went too high and I let other people get it, but
Yeah.
they were a little bit stir crazy here at mine. I think,
Yeah.
well, and there was south of Anago, and I think you got there's a flea market down that way in Shawano, a real big one. And I think you had all the flea marketers gearing up and antique stores down there and stuff like that. It was, and there just wasn't enough smalls there either.
Yeah. Then there was some old corn dryers I wanted.
Corn dryers.
And corn dryers, they're just those little thin things that have the spikes on them that hang from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Corn on.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wanted these corn dryers. Well, here this old guy was sitting there talking about stuff, telling people what it was, because they didn't know, they had all these people that didn't know what this stuff was. And the guy had no interest in these until the guy told him what they were. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, yeah, I want them. And he starts bidding on them. Like, stop telling people what this stuff is. God. And then there was another time there was something else I wanted. And he told him what it was. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I want that. And he puts his hand up to me. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I'd be like,
there's one at every auction.
I'd be like, yeah, that's a part of a shitter.
Help, I'm talking and I can't shut up.
Yeah, the guy just won't shut up. I was like, what the hell? Okay, we know you know it all. But just shut up. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, they don't bid. They just, do a quick description of what it is and then shut up in the crowd. Yeah. Some old timer wandering around telling what everything is.
No, they tell everybody what it is and then they start a conversation with you when you're trying to bid.
Yeah.
Because they're just there to visit.
Well, then I went up and I looked at this thing. It was a McCormick Deering. It was a box cover, for like a firebox for a McCormick Deering.
Yeah.
And I walked up to it and I was looking at it, picked it up and I was looking at it. It was just a small one. And he's like, well, young lady, do you know what this is? And I says, I know exactly what it is. Thank you. And he goes, what is it? I mean, it was like he was testing me.
I went to a farm auction last winter and I had bought a pile of, it was a blacksmith forge and it had some blacksmith tools with it. And then it had a front crank for a tractor. This guy comes up to me. He's like, I'll give you $2 for this. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep it. Do you know what it is? I'm like, yeah. Oh, what is it? I hate that. Like, you're a girl. I'm like, yeah, it's a starter crank for a tractor.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'll put it on eBay.
And it was funny because somebody else that was in the crowd that knew me, he goes, "You know, she's so and so's daughter, right?" And he goes, "Oh, I guess you do know what that stuff is." He said my dad's name, and the guy knows my dad. He's like, "Oh, I guess you do know what it is."
That's when you hit him with the, well, of course I know what it is. That's part of a vintage sex toy. You should come over one day and see my collection.
Yeah.
I'm into Victoria's cast iron sex toys.
It was the plastic of the last century.
You should see what I want to do with those corn dryers.
Oh boy.
Oh, oh God.
They're not for drying corn anymore.
Oh boy.
Well, don't hang my cob on it.
They're for curing sausage. Now they're for curing sausages.
Yeah, I ended up buying like 2 things, and it was this is really sad. I bought one of those tractor sprinklers because I've always wanted one, and then the anchor that came with it. I spent $5.
Oh boy. I spent $580, but $350 of it is a gun I'm going to keep, and then
50's a tire.
and $50 is a tractor tire. I bought a rear tractor tire because I need one for my Ford tractor. It's starting to get sidewall cracking, so 50 of it's a tractor. So that's $400 of crap I'm going to keep for myself. So the 188, I got to try to make money on it. And I really didn't get a lot. To tell you the truth, me and Jim thought, well, for fun, we'll do like a little unloading video, but it's kind of lame. But I put it on YouTube.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And it was like one of our worst auctions.
Yeah, and it just wasn't that great. But we thought, well, we'll just do it for like fun, which then it turns into work. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll be sure not to check it out.
Okay. Yeah, it's lame.
If you watch it, thumbs down. Give it a thumbs down.
Give it a thumbs down.
My husband spent like $200 or $300. He found some stuff he wanted, but it was all stuff for himself. So.
Yeah.
Every time he bought something, he's like, "And don't even look at it. You're not selling it."
Oh boy.
Have fun at work, honey. I won't listen to your stuff.
Wouldn't be the first time. Well, because I buy a lot of man stuff to sell too.
Yeah.
And sometimes my stuff looks like his stuff, and then I have sold some of his stuff by accident, thinking it was my stuff. You know, that's the problem with sharing the garage with them.
Yeah. I'll buy stuff and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm not selling this. I've always really wanted it. And then I'll own it for like, 2 weeks or something, and then I'll sell it. I bought a butcher block table and I sold it. I owned it for like, by the end of the auction, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to sell it. I don't know where to put it right now. Even though I always wanted one, I'm like, I'm just going to sell it.
Yeah.
So it's funny how you change that way, where it's like you own it. You're like, oh yeah, I really like this. I'm going to keep it. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm selling it.
Yeah.
Well, those butcher blocks, they weigh a ton. They're big, they're bulky, they just take over. If you're going to put one of those in the kitchen, they take over the whole damn kitchen. And after we looked at it, it's like, no.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I love those, especially if they're older though.
This was an old one.
Yeah, it had the deep pits in it and stuff, but it was like it just took over the whole kitchen. It was like no.
And I think it was actually used in a butcher shop, so it kind of I scrubbed it, but kind of had like this greasy tallow feel on the top, so that kind of creeped me out. So that turned me off on like doing anything in my kitchen with it.
Well, they're harder and harder to find though. I mean, you can flip them for really good money though.
Oh yeah, we
did good on it.
Yeah, we did good on it.
I paid $50 for it, and I think I sold it for $3 or $3.50.
Huh.
that's it. End of story.
There you are, auction hall.
There you are. End of story.
I want to watch that later, the auction hall.
Is Jim in the video?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does all the talking.
Is he
Oh,
wearing his overalls?
No.
Oh, I don't want to watch
What
it
were you
then.
wearing yesterday? Oh, he's wearing his jean jacket, so he looks like the
Jean
Marlboro
jacket.
Man.
Why am I not subscribed to your channel? That's weird.
I don't have any videos. It's the only one I have.
Well, I'm subscribed now. Better start making videos.
Oh boy. No, it's too much pressure.
I even turned the bell on.
Sure though.
I know. I always say I'm going to make auction videos of what I brought home from the auction as I'm unloading it, but it ends
like
up.
work. Yeah.
It is. It's to set it up, and yeah, it's
You know.
all of a sudden you get it all unloaded and you start listing the stuff. It's like, oh crap! I was supposed to make a video of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you got to set up the camera, and then the wind is blowing, so you can't hear nothing. So you got to start over. Then the sun's coming from the wrong direction. So then we went inside the building to do. You know, it's like, oh my god, this was just gonna be a quick thing. Now it's like this production. I mean, it's like, oh my god.
It was almost like it's just worth it, but we stuck with it.
Like
I
you
know.
gotta hire a best boy and a lighting guy and a gaffer. Yeah, key grip. You know?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, and when we go to auction halls, just like me and you, Tara, you know, we're buying so much stuff, such volume.
This one I did
It's so much
yesterday.
work
I don't
just to
have
unload
much.
stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, usually the next day.
But normally, you know, we're buying so much stuff, and it's so much work to unload it all. And you're thinking, yeah, and I gotta take time out to film this. What, you know?
Yeah, one of the things we bought was a dirty rubber Woody Woodpecker, which is really impressive.
Yeah, it's lame. And we didn't really get a lot of
It
stuff.
came in a box lot with some other crap. I pull it out, I'm like, oh my god, what do you tell people about this? Why do you have this dirty Woody Woodpecker?
I got a Phillips 66 outdoor sign, but that's pretty rough. I kind of bought it spontaneous, and it probably won't sell, so I'll probably just keep it. But
the light fixture was nice.
Yeah, the light fixture's nice.
Says you got 20 views on it though.
Yeah. And I didn't tag it to Facebook or nothing because I didn't want any people to know I do this.
Well, you got it now.
Oh boy.
I watched a documentary on adult movies.
Oh boy.
And you had this guy. They're interviewing this guy who, you know.
Here we go.
Yeah, and he says these girls, you know, they always ask, you know, well, can you keep this anonymous, or is this? If I change my name, will anybody find out? And the guy's like, oh, we always tell him, oh no, nobody you know will ever see this or whatever. And he's like laughing because it ain't out 24 hours and some neighbor spots her. You should have put like a name like Tar Tequila or something.
Oh God.
Hey Jim, how many listings did you get?
Oh God. Okay. First, I'm going to say it's not my fault. 40.
40.
I listed 40. She kept on giving me like these impossible chores and stuff. And,
what, packing boxes?
Yeah,
That's what you always
but then when it's
do.
done packing boxes, then you can go do something else when you know I'm trying to list. I was set up.
He was sabotaging your listing effort.
Yes.
Good job, Tara.
Yeah. There was work to be done.
There's always work to be done on the farm.
Yeah.
Green acres of life for me.
No,
I have a little.
we're supposed to list this property next Monday. So I keep on them. I'm like, if we're going to do this, then we need to keep on task.
That looks like a don't
Good.
look at you.
All right, I got to make a quick phone call.
Okay. Then I found out that there was an auction on Saturday, just not too far from me, about maybe not even 10 miles from me, and it sounded like a wonderful auction. But of course, because I wasn't looking at the other people's auction sites and the two normal auctions I go to, I missed it. So I was kind of bummed about that. Yeah, but oh well, that's okay.
There'll be others, right?
There will be.
Yeah, I went to a couple of yard sales Saturday. They were having the citywide sale about 30 miles from here. So I went over there. And I went kind of late, so I kind of got all the picked over stuff, but I found a couple of good things. So
That's good.
wasn't too bad. Majority of them were clothes. Baby clothes. No, not baby clothes. I don't do baby clothes. But
What
actually,
clothes do you think?
I had a really good. I think it was Saturday and Sunday. I had a pretty good weekend. As far as sales go. Ugh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think people are just out enough or something yet.
What?
Right. Because I'm
Not
talking
warm
to
enough.
Brandon.
I'm talking to Brandon.
Brandon thought I was talking to him.
That's funny. I don't know who she's talking to.
I don't think she does either, to be honest. So
I think it takes a little bit of time to, to get the yard sales going and get things, people excited about yard sales and all that. So it takes time. I'm gonna start adding these in.
I would say if you're measuring sweatshirts, I mean, I don't think you really should have to measure sweatshirts. Oh, it says Valerie or Eric.
I'm sorry.
But I don't think you should have to measure sweatshirts unless there's no tag.
Men's sweatshirts, you measure the sleeves, you measure the chest. That's all you got to worry about.
Yeah.
I always measure the length too.
I used to, but then I realized nobody gives a rat's ass.
See, when I do listings, I want to try to might stir up a question, because back when I had both my eBay stores going, I had a big inventory, and that was the last thing I wanted to do was go back and dig for something to answer stupid questions.
You already brought those sheets in, right?
They're already shipped.
I don't know why they're showing up on my list.
Because I mean, I've even had somebody. I had a Bible listed one time, and somebody asked me to measure it. I mean,
Really?
granted, I don't measure things like that, but yeah, I've had them stupid questions. It's like, and obviously, I don't measure every book I list, but yeah.
I usually start on the seam of the shirt. So like on my shirt, it would be from there down. That would be the sleeve, the seam that goes under that meets the pit.
I did not pull parts.
That's right.
If you pull parts, I'll pack them for you.
Yeah, Jennifer says where. Oh, did you already said that, right?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's really hard sometimes to figure out where to start and all of that because people measure their stuff differently, but you know, who knows? If they have a problem, they'll ask.
Yeah. I think people will get the gist of it. Usually. Larry. 110. That's awesome.
That's great,
good.
Larry.
So who's winning right now?
I think the guys are.
Oh boy.
Yeah. They are.
Well, you had like fishing and picking did like 500 and some, didn't he?
928.
Oh boy.
I think they were counting on you, Tara, to pull them out of that
Yeah.
slide.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really be hitting it if I'm doing 900.
I did pull out one of my stores out of retirement, and I got 4 more things listed, so I got a total of 9.
There you go, Nikki. You're back in the groove. She's back on the eBay train.
That's right.
Up in 4 items in my store.
Larry Lafferty, you got more than me. You should be proud of yourself.
That is
Well, I
good.
haven't even opened up my store yet. I just started listing.
Okay, so we need Wisconsin reseller, Patsy, Natalie, Sherry, and Michelle. So if y'all are present, you need to give me your numbers. We need
Or
numbers.
any other girls that are present that want to give us their numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Put
guys
some
need
numbers
about,
out there.
you guys need about 800, right?
No.
Oh.
No, that
Nikki, that sounds like a bad pickup line. If any girls present want to give me their numbers.
I guess so. I like men.
Well, yeah, I figured that. Not that there's any
Not out there. All of a sudden I get a bunch of emails.
Yeah.
let me know if it works, Mickey.
I don't like men. I just like my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like my husband and Nicolas Cage.
Oh God, here we go.
And Randy Travis. I love Randy Travis.
Oh boy.
Was that the guy that was on Celebrity Apprentice?
No, Randy Travis had a bad stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
a
yeah, I'm
country
thinking
singer.
Trace Atkins. That's what I'm thinking. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's sexy as hell. Chase Atkins.
Mhm.
Oh, you throw Norton out when you go out there then? Okay, and I have one question for you, and I don't want you to freak out. Are you ready for it? You have not seen this enamelware ladle, have you? It's like a super old thing.
Go get the sound.
When I hear Randy, I have a hard time listening. He's my favorite singer, even though I'm not really a country fan. But I've loved Randy Travis since I was like in junior high, and when I hear his music, I just want to cry. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Well, he burned it at both ends. I mean, he lived it. At least he didn't waste his life. He had a good time. Eventually, he just wore it
They
out.
had him at like the CMAs because I think he couldn't even talk for like a year or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really bad.
Yeah, he was really bad. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever hear another new song out of him anymore. But
No, I don't think so.
What does the stupid label look like?
It's enamelware, white and black. It could be like that long. I'll just look in the
Like
shelf.
the handle's black and the stuff is white.
Why, do you have an idea?
No, but
Oh. Well, I mean, it's an old list thing.
no, I'm just jerking around because you told me not to freak out.
Oh.
my dad bought me a bunch of stuff at a rummage sale this last weekend to sell on eBay.
Yeah,
He's like, well, you can just have this stuff. I picked it up. I figured you could sell it. Like, thanks, Dad.
There you go. It's always good when you got the dogs bringing you in the stuff, then you don't have to go get it.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the first people that digs through my auction boxes and takes out all my good stuff.
Yeah.
Rummage sale at his house. He's always my first customer, and of course, it's all free. He'll be like, put this on my tab.
I let my daughter pick out anything she. If I buy stuff at auction and she likes something, she can have it.
Yeah. Well, that's me too. I don't care. I just give him shit about it because, you know, him and my husband are always taking my good stuff.
Woohoo, dolls.
Like that time I bought like 3 buckets full, plumb full of brand new Schedule 80 fittings. Well, that's what we use on the steam engine. And my dad's like, don't even think about selling these.
It's so funny. Nikki always says that one time. It reminds me so much of that band camp movie. That one time at band camp?
I never played the flute, buddy. I was in the orchestra.
As long as you didn't play the trumpet, you're okay.
Yeah, I thought it was the flute.
Oh wait, was it the flute?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. My bad.
American Pie.
You do that often. Yeah, I don't think you notice. Well, I mean, not that it matters, but it always, like, every time you start off like that, I always think of that movie.
Waiting for me to say a band camp, eh?
Yeah.
I remember this one time at band camp. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like Jim was French camp. He used to go to French camp when he was in high school.
What the hell is French camp?
French camp.
French camp.
Yep. I guess. He's outside right now. You'd have to ask him about it.
I'm sure he was a major player in the French circles.
Well, he said because
I'm
all
sure.
the girls took French, so he's like, well, then I'll take, because you have to take a foreign language. So he's like, well, I'll take French because all the girls are in French.
Yep.
He tried.
I stopped playing sports after my sophomore year in high school and started managing the girls' teams.
He didn't really do much sports in high school. I know he played rugby in college when he went to UW Point, but he went on the rugby team because they had a thing at a bar there where the rugby players could drink for free. So that was his encouragement to go on the rugby team. And then they're like, well, because he was small. He only weighed like, I don't know, 125 pounds back then. They're like, you're going to get killed. You're too small to play rugby, but we'll let you still drink with us.
You're only 7 pounds, 7 ounces.
Yeah.
At least he still got to drink.
Did you was French camp fun? French camp?
Oh, God. Yeah.
He must be like, what the fuck did that come up?
So, did you do naughty stuff?
Yeah.
I was telling them we were in French camp, and they were like, oh, yeah, I'm sure they made you sound like a super dork.
Oh, no, man. It was awesome.
I didn't call you a super dork. I said you were a player.
Yeah.
The camp, these college kids, the counselors or whatever, so they came and we had to flush our weed. It was fun. We made liquor out of ginger ale and yeast and shit. We stuck up the whole French bus. We were making like this bootleg liquor in the back seat.
You're making jailhouse booze.
That didn't work real well.
Were your French teachers by any chance a member of the Resistance, and that's what you're teaching?
It could be. I don't know. Oh my gosh! I hope she's not watching this, but she's. Well, not that I mean she's out too. So I guess she was a German lesbian. Our French teacher.
She's probably dead by now.
No, she's alive. I saw her the other day because she tried to talk French to me. Remember I said I ran into her?
Oh.
So I'm like, she starts talking to me in French. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done this since high school, so I don't remember any of it. I'm sorry, mademoiselle. But anyway, yeah, we made this. We tried to make this hooch in the back seat of the bus on the way there. But one guy brought a shampoo bottle full of brandy, which tasted a little bit like shampoo, but we drank it anyway. And then this other girl brings weed, so we pass it around one time in the chalet cabin or whatever. This is in Bemidji, Minnesota. So we pass around the peace pipe one time, and then somebody's like, "Here's says the counselors are coming," so she has to flush all of it. You know, she dumps it all, so then we don't have anything for the rest of the weekend. So that kind of
no.
We learned fencing and some stupid French words. So we went home with the buses. It was a fun weekend.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I went to ski trip, and I didn't know how to ski. I was like, "Why the hell are you going on a ski trip? You don't know how to ski." I'm like, "Look at the sign-up sheet. It's like all women and me."
Yeah.
That is why I signed up for French. There was only 2 options, French or German, because this German lady was a foreign language teacher. She only knew German and French. That was our high school's two foreign languages. Well, the girls in German class, not hot. So the German class had like half guys, and the French class had like me and one other guy. So I'm like, yeah. Hello, ladies.
When I was in high school, I joined this church youth group just because the guy was involved in it.
Oh my God.
Jim joined. He's like, "I had a croissant once. I can do this."
Yeah, okay.
Hey, baby, you want to share my sandwich? Parlez-vous, hum. Oh my God, that was so much fun. And me and the other guy, we go halfway there. You know, the bus stops, and there's like so we can go to the bathroom or whatever. and there's this drugstore next to where, this like convenience store we're going in. And back then, convenience stores didn't sell condoms. So me and this other guy, we're players. So we got to go into the drugstore, and you got this druggist, wearing a white smock and stuff, and this old bald guy. We got to buy these, Trojans from him. And he's giving us the look like, oh my God, you were like 16. It was pretty funny. We think we're big shot players, Of course, nothing happened. I don't think I got a hug.
The other night, it was prom, and there was this ginger kid that came in, and he was all dressed up and everything, and he came to he spent like 15 minutes looking at condoms, okay? And so I knew he was virgin or something, just then he comes to the counter, and after he gets a candy bar and puts the candy bar on top, and then so I move it so I can scan it or whatever, and then he gives me his ID for the condoms. And I was like, oh, I don't need that, honey. I don't need an ID for that. He's like, oh, okay.
It's always like,
And then he's getting divergenized tonight, man.
He was hoping he was getting it.
Yeah. I hope.
It was funny though. Made my weekend. I just couldn't believe that he tried to get his ID for it.
That's cute.
Yeah. To be young again.
I remember this one time I went to, I was driving, and it was the one and the only time that I had went through a, what is that? Like the drunk stop thing. What's the word?
The DUI checkpoint.
Yeah.
Roadblock.
I couldn't get the word out. But anyway, so I'm all nervous and everything. I haven't been drinking at all. Had no drinks. But I'm still nervous. So I go and I'm getting I thought I had my license in my hand. And so, but I ended up pulling a credit card out of my wallet. So when I drove up to him, I handed him the credit card, and he's like, I need your ID. And he, of course, it made him think a little bit like, was she drunk or what, But I was like, oh my God.
Maybe you thought he had a card reader and you could swipe it for the bribe. Maybe Mr. MasterCard could make us forget about this.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh.
They call it Square. He's got a Square on his smartphone. That way you can organize all your bribes for taxes.
Do a slide here, please.
I have to pay capital gains on these bribes.
Yeah.
Because it's not really earned income.
He's like, damn, I might have to pay taxes on this year.
Gosh.
Hey, I got my little card reader for my smartphone from PayPal.
I got mine too.
Did you?
Fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
When we had the flea market, we used to have people pay us direct with PayPal. We had the smartphone, and then they would pay. You could see when your payment came in, and then they could take it like it was a big piece of furniture or something like that. So there's no card involved, but I would give them our email address and let them put the money into my PayPal account. So that worked okay, for not
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you know, you don't have any electricity or anything like that. It's hard to take credit cards.
So we haven't done that for like 5 years.
Yeah, we haven't done it for years now. And it was a really old. It was an old smartphone that had the whole keyboard on the front of the phone where you had to push all the little buttons.
Oh yeah.
They're like half the size of a pencil eraser, so you gotta like, you know. It's almost like a watch calculator. You know, you can't push.
Oh man,
the
tell them about the iPhone we found on the road.
Oh, we found an iPhone 7 on the road.
Nice.
So Car's like, "Oh, I always wanted one of those." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but they'll probably want it or whatever." I'm like, "The thing probably don't even work." So I go to turn it on, and it doesn't. Right when I find the button to push it, you know, the screen will light up. The thing's ringing. It's the guy's wife. "Oh, do you have my husband's iPhone?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got it." So her kids live like right up the road, like a mile up the road from where we were on the highway. So
that was nice of you.
Bye, Sally.
Bye. See you guys later.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Time for the bowl.
Well, that was really nice of you guys to return the phone.
Well, what are you gonna do with it? It's all locked up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I turn around and do a quick Yui. Jim's like, what's wrong? Like, there's an iPhone laying on the road.
And if it was my phone and I dropped it on the road and it was still working, it was salvageable, I'd hope that the person would, you know.
We had that happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, somebody did that to us. I dropped the phone, I'm calling it, and then finally after calling it for half an hour, finally the person answers. It's our neighbor. I know the guy. He's like, "Oh, yeah, we're trying to find out who it was." He's real sketchy. I'm like, "Oh my God, you're trying to keep my phone, you dick." So I'm thinking, do I want to be that guy? You know, no. So no, we're giving the phone back. So
that was nice.
Do unto others.
Yep. Good karma.
Karma's
a
bitch.
Shaving, I don't want to be looking in the mirror at a jerk.
Yep. I know. I'm the same way. You know, people tell me I'm stupid because I return things, but
nah, it ain't worth it.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do. I'd rather, you know. I screw up enough times on accident. I don't need to screw up on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've bought enough tickets to hell. I don't need any extras.
I told Tara it'll probably give us a week off. Here's your week off of hell for returning that phone. But 1 week from now, you come right back.
I've lost my phone before, and now you know these phones are $700-800 a piece. You know,
yeah,
brand new. I mean,
they're $80.
You pay blood phones to lose them. It's devastating.
They had like an otter case on it, and it might have got hit by a car. But it was pretty messed up, and that phone survived that otter case, and I'm pretty sure it got run over.
When I gave it back, I handed it to the kid in both hands. I mean, the otter case was just destroyed. The hard plastic, the cover inside was all ripped out and scratched up, but the phone was pristine. Whatever, when it got run over, the phone didn't get damaged at all.
I don't take a phone out of AT&T without an OtterBox on it. I love my OtterBox.
Yeah, I use one of those too.
Not me.
Well, because one time I got my first iPhone, back in the day when I got my first iPhone, and I set it on top of my car and drove away, and the screen broke instantly. And yeah, ever since then, yeah, I don't leave the store without an OtterBox. You can get them so much cheaper online. I don't care. It's cheap insurance to me.
Well, I will say that OtterBox, that definitely saved that phone, because it was like one of those commercials where they like park a car on top of a phone, you know.
Yeah.
It did do its job.
And the OtterBoxes for the iPhones are a lot better, because like the one I have for my Galaxy, it has like this part for where the stylus is.
Yeah.
And I dropped it like a couple days after I got it, and there's a couple dings on my phone right where the stylus is. Whereas my iPhones, the OtterBoxes, yeah, when I take them out of the OtterBoxes, it'd be like the day I bought them.
Yeah.
I have the $14.99 Alcatel disposable track phone smartphone. It has no case, and when I'm through with it, I just snap it in half and throw it away.
I have the LG Stylo 2. It's 5.5 inches. It's huge. It's an Android smartphone. It was $80 on Amazon.
Nice.
And I buy a little back case because it's a really thin phone. So I buy a little case. It's like $7 for the case, but it doesn't protect the front. But I don't care. So.
Well, I figure for $15, I'm just gonna get another phone.
Well, so I mean, this thing, if it lasts a year, I'm good.
Yeah, there you go.
16 gig of space is plenty of space.
I'm not big into phones, but I mean I have a Note 3, but before this I had a flip phone for like the same flip phone for like 8 years. I mean like the antenna broke off and I had like a piece of foil holding it. Like I was just not into phones.
So
I had a flip phone that the number 5 wouldn't work or something, so Jim tried to fix it with a BB. So then people be like, "Why don't you call me back?" I'm like, "Well, it's because my 5. If you have a 5 in your phone number, you're screwed. My it don't work."
The only reason I finally had to get rid of my phone is because Jessica ran it through the washing machine.
Oh boy.
I
think she probably did that on purpose too.
I had one of those StarTAC flip phones, those Motorola StarTACs.
Yeah.
And this is when people like were texting already. I mean, it was when everybody else was. The smartphones weren't quite there, but you had the more modern flip phones. They were getting to smartphones, and people would try to text me and stuff. You try to read a text on a StarTAC a flip phone, it's not easy. And then sending one's like impossible. And I had that till like, I don't know, 2004 or something.
Yeah, I don't hardly.
They couldn't update it. They couldn't. It wouldn't work anymore. I went in. I'm like, I can't call anybody. The girl's like, well, because you're using an antique. This phone isn't going to work.
My phone has always been like my little mini computer, and like I said, I run my whole eBay business off my phone. Anyways, when I had my iPhone, my last iPhone, I've had a couple of them, but my last iPhone, I got it jailbroke, and my husband's friend did it for me, and he's like, I can't believe all the stuff you have on this phone. I said, well, it's like my little mini computer. He goes, God, it's just a phone. I can't believe how much stuff you have on here. I'm like, well, like my little mini computer.
That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and then I called AT&T the other day, and because the S8 came out, but I really like my Galaxy Note, but the S8 came out, and it's supposed to have a really like a second to none camera on it, and so I called, and they said I could either pay $358 and get a new phone, plan and get a new phone, or I can wait 4 months and then be able to get the new phone. So I figure I'll wait 4 months. If we weren't going to Pennsylvania, I probably would have just paid it off. Paid this one off and got the new one. But and if I've actually been working the last month, making money.
go on.
I'm trying to save my money because I don't want any of this trip to go on credit cards. So
That'll be good.
That's always good.
yeah. Well, I'm not a credit card person. I usually just keep my credit card clean for emergencies. Usually when I do charge something on my credit card, it's only because I just didn't have enough cash or something, or I didn't have my debit card with me or something. But otherwise, yeah, I don't really use my credit card for much.
Well, I got to get to work. I bid everyone adieu.
Bye, Jason.
Have fun, people.
Bye.
There you go.
Later.
Wow.
So here's an auction for your kid. It's in Tennessee. Let's see what they all sell.
All trailers.
No.
I was reading this one post on, I think it was on the Reseller Society the other day, and the person just got crucified. They, this person was like, well, they were talking about their customer wanting feedback. And she's like, oh, she asked me like 3 times for feedback, and I still haven't given it to her. It's like, why wouldn't you have just given her feedback? What the hell's wrong with you? And everybody just crucified.
Mine's set automatic. When they leave me positive feedback, then they get positive feedback.
Yeah,
Yep, mine too.
if you don't have a premium score level, you can't do that. So basic scores and below can't do that.
Oh.
We had a lady leave us a neutral, and then she's bitching, or she's not, but she's complaining. She sends me 2 emails. Where's my feedback? So finally I responded, it's automatic. Leave your positive feedback, and you'll get one from me. Now, I didn't mention that I already knew that she left me a neutral. About global shipping, she was mad about her global shipping charge, so she leaves me a neutral. I don't even know what the global shipping charge is. Canadian.
Yeah, because ours was free shipping.
If you even care, that's an automatic removal you can get.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah, for neutral, I think it was a negative. I would have.
I don't even worry. I haven't got one of those in a long time, but I don't even worry about those anymore. Now that they're off the metrics, who cares?
Yeah,
Haters gonna hate.
it's gonna happen. When you sell enough stuff, it's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Her post was, I don't know if she was griping or what, but her post was, okay, someone bought a $4.99 item from me 3 weeks ago. As of today, I have gotten 6 messages from them wanting me to leave them feedback. Just got another one early this morning that said, did you forget to leave me feedback? I don't know what the deal is, but I guess I'm going to have to leave her feedback so that they will leave me alone. It's like, why wouldn't you just leave it?
Yeah.
And she never did come back as to why she didn't leave it. I don't know. Somebody said that she saw her left the whole entire group because people just butchered her so bad.
I won't leave it as a seller. I won't leave it until they leave me feedback because I figure it's my only recourse. It's the only thing I have. If you leave me neutral or negative feedback, the only thing I can go back at you with is not giving you any feedback. So I mean, I retain that right, and I tell people, I send them a message that, when I still left feedback, not using a robot, I'd say, when you leave me feedback, I'll leave you feedback.
Not me. I just, as soon as they pay, they give me feedback.
Yeah, mine too. As soon as they pay, I figure once they pay, they've done their end of the deal.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying anything about this girl that posted or whatever. I mean, she may have her ideas or why she didn't. So I'm not saying anything negative about her, and I didn't say anything negative to her on the post either. I think people were actually kind of rude on there, but yeah, what the big deal was, why she didn't leave the feedback. I was just trying to find out why, what her reasoning was. Yeah, as soon as somebody pays for me, they get automatic feedback.
And there's 2 schools of thought, but you're right. She should have explained herself like, this is why I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that's what she does. She waits for them to leave her feedback first. But if you're going to do that, you should explain, on the first message, she should have responded with an explanation for the buyer.
Yeah. And some people, yes, usually feedback. I mean, like when I buy something, I never look at the person's feedback, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I mean, unless it's something like really expensive, but even then, even like when I bought my husband's drone, I didn't even look at anybody's feedback. Anyways, but some people, that really makes a thing. That's really something for them. They want that feedback, I mean, it really doesn't make a difference anymore, really, but
well, when you're starting
usually,
to build a new account, it
like
can.
Yeah.
But
some people really want that feedback. And this may have been an old school eBayer, back in the day. That was major. That was a major thing to get the feedback, because people wouldn't let you buy or sell without good feedback back in the day,
Well,
Of course, that was the days we were dealing in cash too, so you kind of had to go by their feedback.
True.
Didn't have all this seller and buyer protection back then. Yeah, a lot of people ask me, "Oh, should I buy this phone? I checked out their feedback. It seems okay." I said, nowadays on eBay, I'm not so worried about buying stuff on eBay because you have, they're pretty good about protecting you. Granted, some things might slip through the crack or whatever, but they're pretty good about protecting you. And if not them, PayPal is. And eBay has come a long way with protecting the sellers too. I guess everybody just left us, Eric. Oh, there's Tara.
Oh boy, I'm still here. I'm
I
just
didn't
not
see
talking.
it.
Oh, no.
It's like, well, where did everybody go? Am I talking to myself?
Is this thing on? Is this thing
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, wouldn't be the first time. Nobody's listening. I'm talking. Nobody's listening.
Ooh. I just wish people would pay when they make an offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's frustrating to me. So what are you gonna do?
I don't even have the chat up. Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah.
I reset my phone back to factory settings the other day. Oh my God, that was horrible. Now I'm trying to get everything back to the way it was.
So
Oh my
why
gosh,
did you
don't
do
ever
it
do
then?
that.
Why did you do it?
I don't know. Because I just had so much stuff on there and I was just so frustrated with it. And I just was like, forget it. I'm just going back to factory settings. And I was like, I backed up my photos, of course, but that was it. But I didn't back up any of my phone numbers or anything. And I forgot what email I used to start up this phone. So, because I've got like 6 different emails. So, so none of my phone numbers are in the phone. So I had a post on my private Facebook the other day. If I'm in your phone book, can you please text me because I don't have your phone number.
Yeah, that's the only problem. I mean, the iPhone system is nice because it's a kind of fairly easy backup process.
Yeah.
Android, I don't think really, I've never really tried to back up my Android phone. I'm sure it can be done. I just never done it.
I remember this one time, me and my nephew, we were screwing around with our iPhones. And so we both backed them up on my dad's computer because we were at my dad's that day. Well, then he went and did something with his iPhone on the computer, and it ended up putting all of my nephew's apps and all of my apps on my dad's phone. And my dad calls us both up. He's like, "What the hell? I've got thousands of apps on my phone."
Yeah, that's the problem with the iPhone. It does. If you buy an app, it remembers it forever.
Oh God, he was pissed. We had to go over there, and then he's like, "Look at all these apps that you guys have." And he goes, "What is this? iDick." And here it was a dictionary app, and it just says iDick on it, IDIC. And he just disgusted with me. He's like, "What's this iDick?" He said.
My favorite was the Sam Jackson app. And it's just, all it is just audio clips of Sam Jackson saying stuff from movies.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And I told my dad it's just a dictionary. Open it. He says, "I'm not opening that." He was just ticked. I was like, "It's a dictionary app, Dad. Honest."
Okay, guys, so here's the end totals. This is all the people that I got. So the girls had 1,568 listings. The guys had 1,771.
No.
You didn't get anything
Good job,
else
guys.
either. So I mean, there's still some unreported numbers there, but
Yeah, I mean there was definitely some people that didn't.
how many
put their
people?
num-
So how many people actually reported numbers then?
I would say probably of the guys there was.
Just kind of a total. Guesstimate the total.
Yeah, there was like four. There was 4 people in the guys, and then there was 4 people in the girls that didn't report.
I mean, how many? But how many did report?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 13 on the girls. Ten on the guys.
That's like an average of 147 listings per person when you think about it. But you know, you had a couple of really big listers out there, you know, like Fishing and Picking and everything.
Right. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you took his numbers out, you know, that brings the average kind of down considerably to just a little bit over 100. And that was just about 3 weeks worth, right?
Yeah.
So it's average about 33, 34 a week, and then so that's 5 a day. That's about an average lister. I mean, that's
Yeah.
not where you need to be if you're going to be full time doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But it's enough to keep you active and constant money coming in. But yeah, you should. I mean, I think that's one of the things that we all need to strive for is be better listers and more consistent.
Yeah.
As a full-time, if you're a full-time reseller, you should be listing at least 20 a day.
It depends on what your days are like and what you do and everything. But you know, 20 is not a bad number to try to strive for. But I mean, I think instead of, you know, go for that, go for 10 a day first. If you can do 70 a week, you know, that's 300 listings a month.
Yep.
And if you sell through 150 of those newly listed plus some of your other ones, I mean, you could conceivably be selling 200 items a month.
Right.
And if you sell, like my average selling price is just a little bit over $25.
Yeah.
So that's right around 5,000.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's why I tell people, you know, if you feel like you can't get listings done in a day, at least strive to get 5 in. If you can't get to 10, at least get 5 in. You know, if you're getting in even 2 or 3 listings in, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
you should. If you're a full-time reseller, you should get at least 20 a day. Otherwise, yeah, 10 is a good number. 10 a day
10
is a good
solid
number for anybody.
20 is probably where you should try to average, because if you do that, then you can maintain a decent average ticket. You're probably looking at between $5,000 and $6,000 in sales, minus out your cost, taxes, fees, and everything. You're probably talking about bringing home about $4,000.
Yeah.
But if you're, I mean, 10 items is easy to get. You should be able to get 10 items. But yeah, like I say, if you get anything, even if it's a busy day, at least if you get something in, it's better than nothing. It at least still helps with your momentum a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Tuesday?
But yeah, if you could make $4,000 a month, I mean, there's really not too many people that can't live on $4,000 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know, I mean, you know, depending on
Bring
your
home
area and how much your
$4,000.
bills are and what you're supporting and everything, but
No, $4,000 a month is a decent income.
Yeah. Jason wants to know what's our prize. Prize?
Yeah, what do the guys get from winning?
You get bragging rights. That's what you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah,
Well,
Guys
we
don't
went
care
on the
about money,
last time.
you get to say you beat us.
Nah,
Yeah.
we don't care about stuff like that.
Didn't get anything when we won the last time, so you ain't getting squat.
You guys didn't win the last time.
Yeah, we did.
No, you guys, it was very underreported. That's the problem. You're like, yeah, here's the winners, and like half the guys are like, we were in a contest? Okay.
Fun. Oh, Fish and Pickin said the girls in a wet t-shirt contest, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
I have no problem with that. Hey, if
Yeah, but
I
what
had
happens
lost,
when
I'd have done a wet t-shirt contest, so I mean I'm okay with that.
Hey, I used to work at a bar. They didn't have wet T-shirts for guys. They had wet boxer contests for guys, and I don't think I want to participate in that.
Yeah, that's fine as long as the water's warm.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, it would have to be warm and vibrating.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on when you
Otherwise, it sounds like a pain in
if you had the contest after the wet t-shirt contest, it's really not a big deal.
There you go. Oh, boy.
Robin says since Fish and Pickin is done, says he's done listing for 2 months. How about a rematch?
Yeah.
Yeah, once fishing season starts, let's do a rematch.
I mean, I think if you're going to do a challenge, just do, on next Monday, everybody needs to have done 10 a day.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a monthly or weekly increase challenge to where you do, like this week you do 10 a day. Next week you do 15. The week after you do 20.
And now would be a good time to do that because everybody says sales are slow.
Yeah, if sales are
Now
slow,
would be
you're
a
gonna do
good-
lot of shipping.
Now would be a good time to test the theory of if you're listing, are you selling,
And I'd be curious to see how many items, what your sales were like. Did they actually pick up?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you do that, it's a very easy challenge to keep track of, and then it's also it's a progressive. It's teaching you good habits. If we can do it for
Yep.
a month, where 10, 15, 20, 25 a day, by the end of that time period, everybody should be so used to listing that it's not a big deal to knock out 20 to 25 a day.
Yep.
Right. It's
I'm
true.
all about goals that actually make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not full time, then you're part time. Then cut that in half. Do 5, 10, 15, 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to do it.
I think that's a good one.
I love Amazon.
Why?
You get an email, you get a text message. Your package will be delivered today. You get a text message. Your package is delivered, and I've got the package half an hour ago. So, thank you for telling me it's going to be delivered when I have it in my hands. So.
Yeah.
So why'd you open your store back up, Nikki?
I don't know. I got bored.
Are you going to be a little bit more selective about what you put in it?
I don't know.
I mean,
Well, my big store, I always had good stuff in my big store. That was always a consistent, good selling store. So.
yeah, no, but I mean, talking about you've got an opportunity to go through all your stuff right now, and
Oh yeah,
I'm highly selective about what I put in there, so that way I don't crowd it with a bunch of stuff that's better at a yard sale than stuff I'm going to sell it on eBay. It's what I did with my inventory. I sat down with my inventory and I went through every piece that I have in my room in here, and I said, if I don't think I can get $25 for it, I'm not going to list. I'm not going to keep it. And I actually donated I donated seven or eight bags of clothes and probably 10 boxes of stuff.
Yeah.
And I just said, you know what, I know it's worth money and I get that, but it's so overwhelming, I'm not going to mess with it.
Well, the stuff I listed, the 4 things I listed in my store were, one was a $35 item. I have 6 multiple quantity listing, 2 multiple quantity listings, 3 each of $50 or $50 each, and then there's 6 quantity on both of those together.
Are you
And
selling
then my other listing is,
you selling off those car parts and everything you bought?
huh?
Did you
No,
list
these ones are actually retail arbitrage stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then my one listing is a $700 listing. That's
Okay.
a machine I bought.
Yeah. That's
Well,
great.
yeah, now's the perfect time. I said when you start your stuff over again, you can sit there and say, okay, I'm going to list just good quality, decent value, and it also makes it easier when you're going through your shed and your storage room. It's like, okay, what do I want to list?
Yeah.
It's almost like you're thrifting your garage and sitting there going,
Yeah.
okay, no, oh, there's a good item. Just set that aside, and you walk out with 10 items.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
now
I do like to put some small stuff in my inventory also, though, in my store, because when my big stuff ain't selling, that little stuff sells every day, you know. And
Yeah,
still
but
keeps coming in.
if you get individually, if you end up with having 200 or 300 items in your store and they're all worth $20 to $25, then it's a whole different income level than selling stuff at $8 and $10.
Well, that's
Yeah,
kind of like,
nothing wrong with having cheap stuff in your store, but fill it up with the good stuff. Go through your whole inventory and just fill it up with your good stuff. And then you go back and say, okay, and I know that my storage unit has nothing that's worth more than $25 in it right now because it's all listed. Now I'm going to go through and say, okay, now I'm going to go see and see what's the stuff that I can sell that I know sells fairly quickly, even though it doesn't quite bring that money.
yeah. Well, my big
Then you
store,
get-
that
then you
was
get
all
to-
stuff. My big store, most of my big store was all stuff that was all over $20 items. I didn't have very few smalls in my big store. And then my little store, that was where I always listed all my little piddly stuff. And I had some bigger items in there, but most of my piddly stuff went in my little store. I had big items in my big store. My big store was almost all higher quality items. But that's the one that I don't ever let anybody see what that one is because.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you're selling your big stuff. That's no big deal there. But it's just, I mean, you got a chance. I mean, since you stopped it, now you're restarting. It's a chance to actually go through and say, okay, I take everything I've learned and now know. I mean, because I got stuff in my store that I need to just get rid of.
Oh yeah.
You know, but it's listed, so why would I?
Yep.
Kind of one of those.
And that's kind of what I'm doing is going through everything and like I told my husband, nothing is getting listed in that store unless it has a bin number. Unless it's something big, of course, it can't be in a bin, but nothing in that store is going to be listed on eBay unless it has a bin number. So no more searching for inventory.
Yeah, what I do with mine is I use banker boxes, and I'll set up I'll pull out a bunch of stuff and list that stuff, and I'll set a banker box there. And as I list it, I've been located, and it goes right in the banker box. Once that banker box is full, I move on to the next number.
Yep.
It's so, and then I just take that and just set it on a shelf or stack it high. I mean, it's just so much easier when you're doing it that way.
Yep. And I've had this system for years. I mean, I've been selling, my other store's been open for years. And even my smaller store was open for 3 years, but, and I've had this system since I got up to like a couple hundred items, I started that system. Because until you get up to a few hundred items, you can pretty much remember where everything is, But once you start getting over 200 or 300 items, then you start forgetting where stuff is. So yeah, I started it then. But yeah, like I said, there was a lot of stuff where, okay, well, I was stuck in town all day, so I listed stuff that I had sitting in the van, and then where did I put that? Because I put it in a box, and I was like, well, I'll put this in a numbered bin when I get home. Well, then my husband or me or somebody unloads the van forgetting that inventory was in there. Now where the hell did we put it,
Yeah.
Well, I
It's
mean,
like, oh shit, I can't find it, you know?
yeah, that's how you screw up your accounts when you don't have, when you get, and that's the thing I think that most people understand is it's easy to have a small business where you're just going by what's up in here, you know, okay.
Yeah.
And I did that until I had about 200 items, and until I honestly, I lost an item and I had to take
Yep.
a negative, or I had to take a cancel
Yep.
from an item that I couldn't find. And I found the item eventually. I just didn't remember where I had done it because I had inventoried too many spots.
Yep.
And so I said, you know what, this is crazy. So I took the opportunity and I inventoried everything that was smalls, and I put them in the banker's boxes. And now I have clothing. Clothing is not inventoried, but clothing is segregated by there's jeans, there's men's shirts, there's women's clothing, there's jackets.
Yeah.
And I have some shoes, but most of my shoes actually end up bin locating, but I don't have that many shoes listed right now. So I'm like, that's how I do my stuff. So because
Mhm.
I don't ever have enough that I have to worry about having more shirts in a tote, or more than one shirt in a tote. Now I do it sweaters. I have a lot of sweaters, so I have like 3 totes. It's 3 totes. It's not that big of a deal, and you only get like 10 sweaters in a tote, so you can actually kind of see through them and see what's in there. But
Yeah.
it's the smalls that kill you. And if you get over 200 items in the store, you have to start thinking about, okay, you know, I might have something that's been listed for a year, and am I going to really remember where it's at?
Yep.
Especially if you're a good cancel person, you can always go back and see when you first listed it and look for like items, and then maybe figure out from there. But I found the inventory system starting when it's easier to start doing an inventory system now
Yep.
than try to go back and do it.
Yep. And that was the thing, you know, I mean, like I said, when I first, you know, I've been selling for years, and I was seeing on my bigger store things that, I mean, had been sitting in my store for years and years, you know, and even on my smaller store, you know, there'd been stuff that had been sitting there for a year and a half or 2 years. And yeah, and it's like, where the hell is that, you know? And so now, yeah, it's like now that I'm starting over, nothing's going on no listing will go live unless it has a bin number in it.
Yeah, that's one of the only ways you can really do it.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna go through my inventory and stuff, and
Hello?
make up some auction boxes and stuff, and get rid of a bunch of stuff too. So
Hello?
try to streamline everything again. And
Somebody was calling me from
now's the time to
Minnesota. I thought maybe Nikki was calling me
do it.
about my dealer warranty that's about to expire, my 2003 vehicle. Yeah, that's going to expire. The sad thing is that I have so few miles on that thing, it actually qualifies for those extended warranties.
Yeah.
I only got 85,000 miles on it. So.
I had a 2003 Chevy, and they were still trying to get me the extended warranty up till about a year or 2 ago.
Oh, it kills me because, you know what? Hey, those extended warranties are fine. For some people, that's great. I do my own mechanical work.
Yeah, that's how Jim is too.
Yeah, now if I blow a motor or if I blow a transmission, that's something I have to think about. But you know what? Because at one time I was checking out prices for my truck. And I'm like, I wonder what a new motor costs. I can go get a junkyard motor for $900. And like, I'll spend more than that in a year probably on a vehicle warranty. I'm like, that's just kind of silly.
No.
And I mean, and I got 85,000 miles on my truck. I mean, it's not like I'm in the process of needing a new motor or anything, but it's like, you know, and I can do a transmission if I need to. I mean, I just did $300 for the work on it, you know, last month. So, you know, front brakes, I had to put a new knuckle on, new hubs and everything. But that, you know, that's one car payment for most people. You know, you know, that's, you know, 2 or 3 months worth of the stupid warranties and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna spend the money on stuff like that. Sorry, I'm on a tangent on those people. I hate them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and that's inventory is keeping track of the inventory is super critical as you get a bigger store. I mean, you gotta run it like a business. You can't fly by night it all the time.
Yep. Yeah, and my husband wants to start reselling too, so I gotta keep things a little more streamlined so that, you know, things things are more organized, and
Well, that's part of
because
what
most of the stuff I have in my head, but now if I'm gonna bring him into it, it has to be something that both of us can use, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
like
that's why
I
I
was
started
telling
doing-
Valerie earlier that, you know, not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before, I was 7 days in the hospital. I had to tell my husband he had to be able to find the stuff, you know, to be able to ship it so I could keep the business going. What if something was to happen to me and I was in the hospital or something again, and he had to take over, you know. So
That's a consideration. My daughter knows if something happens to me, I can go to the hospital. She's come in and turn my store off. So
yeah, but this way he wouldn't have to. He could just come in and do it, you know.
yeah, but yeah, that's you got to think about stuff like that. That's why when I redid my office here, I set it up so that it's actually going to be better for eBay instead of just being a better office.
Yeah.
You know, it was a home office before. Now it's an eBay business office,
Mhm.
and it just makes things a lot more easy for me to do.
Plus, I've made it a rule now that anything that comes from the auction has to get listed before it goes into the main inventory area. So
Keep them separate. I keep mine separate.
yeah,
I have listed inventory. It's in a whole other room, and then I have unlisted out here.
yeah. And before, and the majority has to be listed before we go buy more too. So.
All right, Val.
All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. Hope everybody has a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yep.
See you, everybody.